You're right, kids, it's Raasclark, and today we've got a PC. I know bits and things to make a PC with that I've got absolutely no idea about because I'm an utter PC noob. I know nothing about PCs, and I thought, well, why not do a video for you guys out there that have never built a PC before, so you can watch me fail, hopefully not, see if you learn anything yourself. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it.
First up, the processor, the thing that runs your PC. Here we've got the Ryzen 7 5800 8-core. Then your graphics card, the thing that makes your games look good and runs everything and makes it all super duper fast, super duper pretty. In this case, I've got the RTX 3070, one of the three very rare graphics cards out there at the moment. This being the lesser one, but the 3090 is the top dogs and quite a lot of money. Next up, we've got our RAM to help your PC run nice and smooth, of which we've bought the Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro Black 32GB. And then we've bought some light enhancement kits just to fill out those memory slots and make the PC look nice and pretty. And for our cooler system, we've gone for a Corsair 240mm H100i Elite RGB liquid cooler. So for my boot up, the hard drive that's going to be booting up the PC, I've picked a Sabrent 500GB SSD, an M.2 SSD, which is a super duper fast drive that's going to make sure my PC boots up nice and quick. And then to run my games and record my videos initially on, I've gone for a Samsung 970 1TB M.2 SSD. Again, going to be nice and quick for playing games and running my editing. And a 2TB Seagate SATA storage to back up all of my saves to. The motherboard, of course, being the heart and soul of the PC, where I need to fix all my bits and bobs to. An Asus ROG Gaming AMD Ryzen, capable to output RGB so I can have some nice pretty colours. And then for my power supply, I've gone for a Corsair RM850, nice and powerful, and it's going to run the PC like a dream. And then the gaming case, the thing that contains everything, I've gone for a Corsair ICU 465X RGB mid-tower, equipped with 3 fans, but I've brought another fan just to make sure I've got plenty of airflow on that PC when it comes to running those nice and powerful games. And before I forget, a big shout out to Steady Teddy. He's pretty much the guy that helped me select the right sort of gear for the right sort of setup. So go check him out. I'll drop a link in the below, as well as all of the hardware that I've bought if you're interested on building one of these yourself and checking out Steady Teddy's ARC tutorials. Back to the video.
So, first thing you need, get your power supply. Wash your hands, make sure they're clean. You don't want any grease on any of the stuff that you're going to put together with. So, you also need to keep your hands a bit static free. And what you're going to do is plug in your power supply. Power supply is plugged in, it's turned on at the wall, it's not turned on the actual power supply. And all I'm going to do every now and then, just keep the static off me by just touching it. That's it, that's all you got to do. Occasionally throughout, simple as that. Okay, so next up, we're on the motherboard. This is the first part you need for your PC. So, we're going to get this out and we're going to keep it on top of the box throughout, just to keep any of that static away throughout this build. Okay, just going to keep that static off me, and then we're just going to nice and gently pull it out. Go, and we have a motherboard ready to plug things in with. Right, so next bit, you've got your CPU. This is your baby, that's gonna be the first thing you want to put in. So on the motherboard, make sure to static yourself again, and we're just simply gonna get this pin here, flick it up, push that back. This is where your CPU is going to go. So we're going to open it up. and it's literally just going to fall into place in the pins. Once it's done, bring that back down. Job done. Next up, we've got RAM. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to put my RAM in. I've got these two babies, which I explained in the start of the video, and I've got two of these two babies. Now the actual RAM, I'm going to pop in the slots. These are your RAM slots here. These 4 slots here. I'm going to put in the RAM into the slots numbered 1, and there's a little detail just down there that we're going to slot to. So what you got to do, you got to flick these back like that, easily down, and then make our RAM. Now what you got to do is make sure to know which way around it is there's a little drop thing there and you've got a slot right there that's going to marry up with it. Simple as that. So I'm just going to pop that baby in, and you want to put it in at a bit of an angle, so you kind of put it in about halfway, and then click in the left, the one side, and then click that in. Right, and now we're going to put the light enhancement kit into the other ones. Okay. There we go. Go in. Click. Lovely. It's not quite gone. There we go. Job done. Okay, next up, we're going to take off the shield for our M2 memory slot. So you got a couple of little screws. Get your screwdriver, and I'm hoping you know how to unscrew screws, because if you don't, you might be in a bit of trouble. So obviously this might not be the case for every board out there, but this is in my scenario. I've got a little plate to remove there, and then I've got a few more screws to undo to finish the job. So these babies here came with the motherboard that I'm going to use to screw in my SSDs for my booting up and my game saves. Saving of games. So you've got 3 different standoff points, one of which will hold your memory in. In our case, it's this N1, so we need to pre-put our standoff in first. Which I've done, being careful not to scratch or touch anything on the motherboard. So we'll do the same here. And I'm going to simply just push it in. Make sure it's all the way through so there's no gold showing, and then push it down. Then we're going to screw that in. Now, don't give it the big gun and give it strength. Just as soon as you're not moving anymore, just give it a little bit of more of a turn, and that should be it. You don't want to squash anything. You don't want to break anything, do you? Right, that's the 2 bits of memory in. I'm now going to put the face plates back on, and I'll move on to putting it into the PC. Woo. Just a little note as well, with these plates underneath, bit of film, rip it off. You don't want that in your way. One little note again, like we did here, when you're putting these screws back in, just be careful not to over tighten them, because you don't want to squash your memory. So we're just going to go to the point when I get a bit of feedback. There we go. A little over tighten, and job done. All right, let's do the rest, and then we'll move on. Right, here we go. Got the case. Usually they're just a bit finger tight, so we're just going to nicely unscrew them. Nice and gentle. There we go. And there we go, there's the inside. We've got the motherboard over here. All we're going to do, just turn it around so you can see, is we're going to put that bit with the slots that you need to plug all your bits and bobs into this bit round here around the back. We're just going to undo this baby, get these leads out of the way first. And just chuck them out of the way for now. And then we're going to lie it down. I'm going to pop the motherboard and screw it in these points here. And they'll marry up with the ones on your motherboard. Okay? Simple. And then we're just going to place it in over the holes. Okay. There you go. And then there you go. All the holes are lined up, ready to screw in. So let's screw them in. I'm just gonna leave it, and then I'm gonna go around back them all and do a little over tighten afterwards. I'm just gonna get them tight. Tight like a tiger. Yeah, it's not too tight though. You don't want to squash the motherboard. It's just all about, it's Lego, but being delicate, isn't it? Right, so onto this. the fans. This is my cooler that I'm now going to put this baby onto my CPU, and then it's going to run liquid coolant through there, keep it all nice and cool into my radiator, of which I'm then going to apply fans like so. This is going to be fun. Because this cooler, it comes with a built-in bracket for Intel. I need to change that for AMD, but it's really simple. I'm just going to take this baby off. Luckily with this one, I haven't got to mess about with thermal paste at all, which is pretty cool. So there we go, and then the brackets just slide off. There we go. There we go. And then we're just going to put in our AMD brackets. Okay, so there's my AMD brackets. Obviously make sure you know which CPU you're using. In my case, it's AM4. There we go, and then we're just going to slot them back in. Make sure they're facing the right way. Now we're going to pop the fans on the radiator. There's my two fans. Make sure your leads are facing the right way. We want to point them down in this direction because we're going to have the motherboard here. We're going to get these little babies that came with the cooler and your plate. So just to show you what I did, there you go. I just put these babies in because these are going to hook it down when we connect it to the motherboard. Right then. Encountered a bit of an issue where I found my cooler was too big to pass my RAM at the top, couldn't clear it, so I've had to do a bit of a workaround. It's fairly simple. So all I've had to do is the fans that are on the front here, I've taken them off. I've moved them, instead of the radiator and fans being mounted to the top, I've now put them on the front instead. And one of the existing fans is now down here at the bottom, and the two fans that were at the front are now at the top. Now, the fun bit. Put this baby on and get the coolant going. Now you can't see it, but never mind. All right, there we go. Simple as that. So, and what's happened now, I put the controller on the back, and now I'm going to plug all the fans into the pins. Right, next up, mass storage time. I'm going to pop it in our tray that we pulled out to get our screws. Lovely. And then we're going to plug this baby in. There we go. And that's ready to connect. And the hard drive now has been pulled through and now plugged in. Where is it? Plugged in here. And as you can see, I've plugged in everything else now into their corresponding ports. So, we're getting there. Right, power supply time, and we've all plugged in now connecting everything we need to as per instructed. And we're simply just gonna pop this baby in. The bottom here, watch some cables. There we go, and we're just going to feed these babies all the way through and get our leads tidied up. Okay, now the big fun part, graphics card time. And it's really simple. All I've got to do is take these two screws out there, and then I'm going to push this in and connect this baby up with that right there, with those pins there. Simple. Right, there we go. Graphics card is in, the monster is in the house. All the leads are all nicely tucked to the back now, and last bit to put in is our rear takeout exhaust fan. Exhaust fan. So I'm just going to screw this baby in, and nearly showtime. And there we go. Everything's in place now. Fans in, graphics card, coolant, CPUs, GPUs, the works. It's been an interesting time to do this. Took us a bit longer than I thought, but we're there, we're done, we're ready. Now it's time to plug in the monitor and make sure it's all running okay now. Okay, moment of truth. Is it going to work? How do we turn it on? Button up here. Yeah, baby! And there we go, we're done. We've got a PC, it's up and running. It hasn't taken that long. Okay, it's taken a while, but not too long at all, considering we had to change the fans around. I hope this helps some people out there. As I said, I am a complete and utter noob when it comes to this sort of stuff, and I feel that if I can do it, then anyone can really. Just a bit of time, bit of patience. It's more complicated Lego than you've probably put together before, but it's still just Lego. It all fits together in pieces, and it's done. There we go. I'm now gonna have a little play about with this and see what it's like to be a PC gamer. I'll see you there. My name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.
And I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity?